Okay. Hello. My name's Daniel, and today I'm going to do a bunch of things. Starting with, I'm want to make a GitHub action. Specifically, the action. Let me pause the music real quick. The action is synchronizing branches. So lately, a lot of folks are trying to rename the master branch into something else, which is totally, I think, it's a very kind gesture. But my opinion is that doing it needs to. I mean, everyone should do it responsibly, meaning people depend on your branch, right? So your branch name is kind of a public API for software infrastructures of your user. If you really care about people that uses your software, then you shouldn't hurt them by taking down, making the branch unavailable all of a sudden. You never know how people are consuming your code. So I think as a engineer, as someone who, as a technologist, the rational way to go about this is one, going forward, use a different branch name of your choice for new projects, for new repositories, and two is you should keep up the master branch for a period of time and then announce it to the world and try your best to communicate. Let as much of your user know as possible. But of course, you probably will never reach 100% of a user, especially if it's a public project that has some popularity behind it. But I think you should do your best to not break people's code, because that's actively hurting people, and it's not something that obviously it's not something you intend to do, I hope. So anyways, I'm thinking like if there's a way to make this transition easier, that'd be great. And the way to do it would be let GitHub Action synchronize the content of the branch of your name, your choice, and the master branch, so that they stay they stay in sync. I mean, this is a pretty common thing, and if I were to do it for one repo, it wouldn't be hard at all. Now the question, well, the unknowns I have is how you do it, how do you publish an action such that people can just use it with one click. So that's, I guess, what I want to start my stream with. All right. So here we are. This is the documentation for GitHub Actions, and I think I'm gonna just read it. So, actions or tasks. Create actions by writing custom code. Types of actions. You could build Docker content and GitHub JavaScript actions. I don't need JavaScript actions. Requires a metadata, inputs, outputs, and main entry point. Okay. So we need to support a supply an action.yaml. So let me, before I move on, let's just to make a quick thing here. Sync branches. All right, and let's just start with an action.yaml and just keep going. Metadata syntax, okay. So Docker container works on Linux, which is totally fine for us. Like I said, the actual thing you need to do is very simple. So I just need to kind of learn the bureaucracy around it so that I can publish it. If you're developing on as use, recommend keeping the action in its own repository. Yes. That's what I intend to do. Storing action is own to make it easier for GitHub community to discover. Building an action that you don't plan to make available to the public. Okay. Use release manager for actions. Release manager for distributing updates and good practice. If you're developing action for other people to use release management to control how your expect actions major and to include necessary critical fixes. Right, this is Samvar. Okay, using tags for release. Okay, this is pretty basic stuff. Release v1. Create and validate and release on a release branch, such as release v1. So this is release branch before creating. Okay, so validate your branch and then create release using semantic versioning. Introduce a new major version for breaking changes. And then there's beta. Okay. So people can reference a major release tag like so actions blah. This example does how user can reference a specific branch. Okay. And then you create a README file. Okay. All right. Cool. So let's see how to create a Docker container action. I'm going to put my music back on. Sorry, I'm not playing music on stream. There's a big scare on Twitch these days, and I like to just not think about it. So once complete the project, how to build it? Okay. Creating, cloning new repositories, creating a Docker file. Right. Docker file support for GitHub Actions. Okay. So Alpine, blah, blah. Alpine is a pretty slim distribution. Create an action file in the hello world action.yaml file. Yep. Metadata for hello world. Greet someone and record the time. Inputs. Who to grade. Description. Who to grade. So this, in our case, our input would be the branch name to sync to and from, right? So it'll be like sync from and sync to. And they're probably, I don't know if you can use the list, but that's something we can think about. Output, don't really need output. So here, the action just runs a Docker with a file. Okay. So assume this input will become available in the environment of the Docker image or somehow. Writing the action code. You can choose any Docker-based image and therefore any language for your yes. So a shell image is more than enough for us. Right. Okay. Set output. Okay, let's just look at the repo. All right, cool. So this is the entire thing. It has a special button for you to use. And when you use it, you just say uses this action with, and this is the input. Okay. So here's the Docker file. Here's the, I guess, the definition of the action. I want to see where who to greet is accessed, right? Hello $1. Oh, arguments. So is this actually passed to the entry point script, I assume? Let me just get the source code and analyze it that way. Okay, so let's look at where the word world is. Okay, so that's part of this. And then if my understanding is correct, who to greet, right, okay. All right, so let's look at the metadata syntax. Inputs. Input parameter to specify that the action expect during a runtime. Okay, so input parameter is environment variable. Uppercase letter convert to lowercase during example. Okay. So number of octocats and octocat eye color required false. Default is 1. Okay. When you specify an action in a workflow file or use a default input, okay, so input variable name. Okay, so is this referenced somewhere? Input, no. Okay. So E3, let's look at args. Run using Docker. So that's runs for, runs for Docker actions. Okay. So this value has to be Docker. Okay. Pre-entry point. All I really need is like a very, very simple thing. Okay. Args. Okay. So in Docker, an entry point is is what you execute when the Docker image is launched, right? And this args argument is what it gets. Okay. Okay, so that makes sense. Docker file for GitHub Actions. User. Some Docker instructions from interact with GitHub Actions. Yeah, so let's see. In theory, right, all I need to do is using a Docker image, using a Docker file even, take the input and output, right? Let's say input, bad terminology clash here. But I need the branch to sync from and to. And those two pieces of information will pass into the entry point of the Docker image. And then all the Docker image do is, fetch the input and the output. But fetch the input branch and push it to the output branch. So now the real challenge here is how do I authenticate the Docker image to do that? So I assume this is the section of documentation that explains it. Because it says some Docker instructions interacting with must be run with the default Docker user root. Okay. From the first one must be from. Just select the Docker base image. Yep. Work dir. GitHub sets the working directory path in the GitHub working directory environment. So we don't use work dir. There's a GitHub workspace. Okay. If you define an entry point, oh, so you can define an entry point in the action. So that is already interesting because I don't think that's defined here. So instead of writing a Docker file, you can just define it. Okay. Using the following execute format or not. Okay, so if you want variable substitution, then either use a shell form, like so. Okay, interesting. So it doesn't really explain how I can authenticate the image. Okay, so using the example Docker image will send the args configuring. So here we just echoes everything with a shell. So entry point.sh. I mean, that's totally fine. Okay. But it also mentioned the SHA invariant variable. If you're going to use the form entry point. Okay. Okay, so this is explaining when some variable is not available, but also imply that this variables like this will exist, right? Okay. So as a user, what you do is you use this and with, and then you give the input and output, and then you can specify. Right. Okay. So I guess the user's experience for this action would be they add a YAML file in their .github/workflows directory, which they configure with something like this, right? Except it's going to be the release from the project I'm making, and then the input would be the branches to sync from and to. Okay, cool. Now I want to search for this. GitHub token in a workflow. Okay, let's set something up. Let's set something up and play with it, right? Sync branches. Let's open up the action. Oops, did I not make it? Let's make this. Let's configure the metadata. I think the fastest way is to do the hello world action and then just take it from there. Sync branches. Synchronize content of Git branches. Okay, so the input in source branch, right? Which branch to sync from? True default is, let's say master. I have no idea what people want to sync it to. And then source, and then target branches. The default value would be a list. YAML empty list. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Don't need any output. We'll run Docker and then we'll give it input being inputs dot source branch. Target branches, right? Which branches to sync to? All right. Now what? Now we have to make that Docker file. Let me just again start from the hello world action Docker file. Let's see, there's entry point.sh. Okay, let's make that. Actually, let's not make that. Let's steal that. Okay, so here we have hello $1, hello $2, because we have at least 2 arguments, right? Set output, don't care about that. All right. So I guess I'll push this up. Make a new repo. How do you make a new repo? Hold on. Here we go. Please. Okay. Sync branches. Whatever. Start with hello. All right, so I guess I guess we should use a different branch name, but we'll fix it later. Oops. All right. Do we get the special button? Okay, cool. Draft a release. Okay. Okay, so I guess to test this, right? Let's make yet another repo. Let's make GitHub Action workflows both level, and then let's say sync to master dot YAML, right? And then where's the hello? Let's do something like this. Whoops, that is not. My copy paste is broken. Please. All right. So sync branches, and then the with source branch being let's say main, and then target branches being master. Okay. Create initial test. Wait, did I create this repo yet? Test sync branches. All right. Oh wait, that's not a valid syntax for GitHub Actions. I'm crazy. Okay, let's actually use a actively being like GitHub Action in production. So I don't know, tray GitHub workflows CI. How about this? All right, let's start with some basics here. Okay. At some point, uses, right? So let's do steps uses. I hope this is what I need to do. Don't need this. Name would be sync to master, sync to master. So this will be push And I believe you need to filter. Let's say I just want to apply this to a branch, right? What is the syntax for that? Workflow, configure workflow, on push, okay. On push branches master, perfect. That's what I want. Cool. Okay. Now, let's say I want to right, that one failed because the syntax is invalid. Right. Oh, I hope so. When was this run? No idea because right, that's the wrong content anyways. Okay. So let's now switch our branch to master or to main, right? So let's see. I want to create a branch based on master, named main, push main to origin. Okay. Now what happens? Okay, so this was just run. It's not valid. Sequence was not expected. Line 17. Uh-oh. This is where I really don't understand YAML. So YAML list, is this not how you... List of tasty fruits. Skills. Line 17 colon 11. That's this, right? Hold on. Yes. A sequence was not expected. So this is a sequence and it's not expected. What if I do this? I have no idea. Right, dictionary can be represented like that. Let's try that. This probably requires some force push. So that's another thing. When the synchronization between one branch to another may fail, in that case, yeah, we'll just merge fast forward and leave it to the user to be responsible for maintaining a clean state. Okay, something else failed. A sequence is not expected. Okay, so this it's not a matter of syntax problem. Is all right. Let's start with target branch. Yeah, let's start with a string value. Okay. And I'm also going to go back to the actual code. Sync branches, action, and I don't know. Let's start with main and do master. This is not required. All right. So that's much simpler now. Simplify to a single branch. Okay. Let's see what happens now. Oh, it didn't immediately fail. So we should see some output, right? We're expecting to see some like hello world style output. It's like hello main, hello master, I think is what we expect to see. Hello main, and there's no hello master. That's not good. Yikes. It's not very good. Oh, the arguments. Why is this so bad? Okay. Fix argument name. Commit test allow empty. Okay. I think we're close. We're almost done. All right. Hello Ming, hello master. Perfect. Now what? Now we need to test out whether, okay, so shell test string empty. I think it's like dash z, right? Okay. Okay, so this is where our starting point. Entry point. So in addition to those, we can do if z is, this is POSIX compliant shell, so should be okay. Okay, so now we're in a Docker image. It has some environment variables, right? So what if I just export all environment variables? I think you just do set. Print errors. And we'll have to do another commit here. I'm a little concerned it'll print out some secrets. So I'm going to hide the screen a little bit. Boop. And the action is run, and it's done. And it printed out a bunch of stuff. Beautiful. Cool, 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 cool. Okay. Whoops. All right. So this is the stuff that got printed out. Turns out there's no secret there. So we have actions, actor, base URL, event. So it's not super helpful here, is it? No, the question is, what if I simply just say, so $2 is the target branch, right? Let's go back to the documentation, creating actions, publishing. I don't care about publishing yet. What am I missing? Right, within Docker image, I need to be able to get the... I need to know which repo it's running for. And I need access to that repo. Pushing an action, GitHub Actions. How do I do this? Any GitHub Action experts? Using environment variables. Yeah, really, this is all you need. You don't need an extra action, right? All you need is a YAML file that does something like sync main to master, right? You run on Ubuntu or whatever. Let's use this, what's the lightweight one? Alpine, whatever. Okay, so we just need to run something like steps. Start with the name, right? Sync, and then you run a bunch of stuff. I think you do like this, and then you say the branch or tag graph that trigger the workflow. For example, this or that. Okay. Wait, I actually have a repository that does push code to other branches. That's my website. So let's just look at that. Deploy. Right, you fetch the origin. You get a bunch of stuff. So it looks like as long as you use checkout v2, everything should just work. So run. Here we specify our environment variable, right? Run and env, it's on the same level. Okay. So source branch. The beauty of the source and target terminology is they have the same number of letters. Okay, so looks like all I need to do is git check out source branch. Actually, git check out target branch, and then we git merge fast forward. Is that how you do fast forward? I think so. Right? FF. Fast forward only, actually. That's even better. Hello? Git merge fast forward only. Source branch. Git push origin target branch. Right? That's actually all there is. And this should work for any repository. Right? Okay, let's try it. Use normal action. Let's see what happens. Test sync branches. Whoops, where is it? Oh. Let's look at actions. Okay, it failed. That's okay. So something. Oh, Alpine. Actually, I want to learn a little bit about Alpine. I can use Alpine latest if I want, but I guess 3.10 is just as good. Or I mean, let's make an effort to use the latest version. Okay, that just failed without an explanation. Oh, right. Alpine 312 dot. Did I add an extra dot there? All right, whatever. All right. So let's do bound to latest. Oh, things are running. So right now on main branch, we have 4 commits, right? Bunch of stuff, blah, blah, blah. I don't know why this is 3 minutes ago. I don't believe it's been 3 minutes since I pushed it. Something else failed. Process exited with code 1. Master did not match any files known to Git. So we will try to check out master, right? And then we will merge the source branch, fast forward only. And then we will try to push why wouldn't that work? Check out and commit push. Should be okay. Master did not match any files known to Git. Which step is that? Weird. It must be check out, right? So okay, do I need to fetch as well? I guess so. Let's fetch. Fetch doesn't hurt anybody. Please, this is such a simple thing. Okay, so once this is done, I guess the final test is switch this repository. Actually, let me go delete the other repository. Where would that be? Switch this repository's main branch to main. Right? And then something. Okay, so for this repository, let's go to the danger zone and delete it. sync branches. Okay, here's where I turn off the desktop, launch one password. Please. Okay. All right, so that's gone. Now I'll bring you back. And let's look at this again. It failed again. What is it this time? Refusing to merge unrelated histories. That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, okay. So let's make them related, right? Check out master, reset hard, main dot, I don't know, 2 commits ago, push master. Test again. XXX, right? Okay. So git push origin. Let me push. Did I already push master? Yeah, I did. Okay. Let's push main. Okay, so this time it should work. I feel like, oh yes, something good happened. Actually, no. We need to wait for this. It failed. With the same reason? Refuse to merge? Really? Merge, fast forward only, main. That works fine. Why would it refuse? Fetch origin, check out master, merge, and push. Okay, we check out master, all good. What if we go origin source branch? Wait. It already failed. No way. Oh, I didn't commit. All right, let's try one more time, or one last time. Well, not the one last time. We'll keep trying if it doesn't work. Okay, what is wrong this time? Please. Refuse to merge. I don't get it. I don't get it. Refusing to merge unrelated histories. What does that mean? What does that mean? Check out V2. Okay. Let's try some of these options. Fetch depth 0. And hopefully now I don't need to do this again. Nor do I need this, right? Anything else? Check out pull request head instead of merge commit. Okay. I'm a little confused, Why is it complaining about unrelated history when it's clearly related? The next thing we're going to try is like completely sync up the two branches and see whether it still complains about unrelated histories. Oh, it worked. I believe this time it worked. Hold on. Let's go to master. Aha. Main. Cool. That's it. There we go. Something about pages is still here. Okay. All right. Synchronize GitHub main and master branch. Cool. All right. Oops. So that should have taken, I don't know, 10 minutes, but we took an hour. Not a big deal. Okay, so it turns out fetch depth 0 is the answer here. Okay. Is there a more efficient way to do this? Ref. Check out a different branch. A different branch. But if I need to check out two different branches. All right. All right. Okay. So the final test is we bless our repository with the, well, let's change its name. Sync main to master demo. And then we change our main branch to main. Okay. And then we push. We rename. Oh, not rename. Let's get remote. Was it set URL? Okay. Origin is this. Okay. Hello? No dashes. Okay. Okay. So now this is a repository where the main branch, the default branch is main, right? Default branch is main. And then whenever we push to main, oh well, yeah, that happens. But if we really want to push to main, the push will kick off a GitHub action, which synchronizes the content of main and master. And it failed. Not possible to fast forward, aborting. That's correct, because I just amended. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. I just checked out master, and let's hard reset it to one commit before main. Push master. Okay, and then let's rerun this job. Okay. Much better, much better. Okay. Let's write a readme. Actually, let's remove the hello. And let's add the readme. GitHub demo on how to sync. Rename master branch. Okay. To rename master branch to something else, we should be considerate of existing consumers of our repositories. The best way to rename it is to execute a proper deprecation plan. This plan may include communication, best effort communication to users, but more importantly, we should consider keeping master around for a while, for a grace period for users to migrate their build processes, scripts, etc. Okay, also users and contributors referred to as users. Okay. From now on, this repo includes a GitHub workflow that takes some simple step to ensure a main branch is synchronized to master feel free to this can be used. All right, let's mention some more things because this is I already mentioned some of the things you mentioned at the beginning of the stream, but I want to be very clear to the audience of this repository as well. So to remember something else, we should be considerate of existing consumers of the repository. The best way to remember is okay. I want to make sure I include that. All right, that's fine. I kind of want to emphasize that you don't need to do this for new repos, right? There's no need to do this for new for repositories. New projects, repositories, of course. Includes a GitHub workflow that takes some simple steps to ensure use it during your grace period by copying, including .github workflows. Sync to master. In your projects. Okay. I want to include a license. So okay. See. I think this is how you link to. Okay, let's spell check. Referred repo, GitHub repo, flows, repositories. Okay. How to rename a master responsibly. To rename a master branch to something else, we should be considerate of existing consumer repositories. The best way to is to execute a proper deprecation plan. This plan may include best effort community users, contributors, reward as user from now on, but more importantly, we should consider keeping master branch around for a grace period for users migrated, etc. This report includes that take. Okay, so the links didn't work. How do you? I mean, I know how to do this the hard way. You literally just repeat it. And I suppose that's okay. 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 Uh, ba, 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 ba. Okay. Let's see if the links are fixed. Oh, yes, yes, yes. So here's the deal, right? Here's the deal. Let's just, because this is a demo, so I want to make sure, in case people look at the history, there's not a lot of edit that confuses them. So we need to eventually clean up the history so that it's clear that the history is not important. Okay, so this works. This works. Okay. And it worked. Okay. So how do we do this? Okay. What if I straight up delete the .git, right? So now it's no longer git history. Awkward. Okay. Git init. Git commit. Actually, check out main. Check out -b main. And then sorry, checking some messages. All right. Oh, come on. Oh, yeah, I didn't add remote. Git remote add origin. Yes. Actually, no. Git remote set URL. Yeah, this. Okay, so let's look at master. Boom. Okay. Let's look at main. Okay, main, I know what's happening because it's local. Okay, that's good. Let's see. Let's hope things works. This report includes a GitHub for that takes some samples supposing to remain the Synchronize master. Okay. And if we took a look at the actions, it succeeded. And if we look at the main branch, okay, so the last step is tell people about this. So I'm simply going to make a tweet. So let's write that tweet in Vim. What should I say? This repo demonstrates how to sync main branch to master for your rename migration for grace period. Wait. If you want to provide grace period for too long. To provide grace period of master branch renaming. Keeping branches synchronized with GitHub Action is easy. This repo demonstrates how to sync main to master for your existing public project, so folks have a grace period to migrate their build processes. Spell check me. Okay, good. All right, of course, I need to include a link. All right. To be honest, I'm pretty dubious about doing this renaming thing, but it's definitely based on goodwill. So, you know, I should just remind folks to do it the right way, responsibly. That's all. Nothing else matters. Done. So let's also slog. What did I do that time? That was create a demo repo that syncs main branch to master branch with GitHub Actions. Okay. All right, so what's next? For the next part, I would like to All right, this is going to be a completely different project. So let me actually first go to Twitch. If I can go to Twitch on this computer. Oh, it's not going to work, is it? Maybe I can do it here. Just give me a second. I'm going to turn the screen off. Okay. Close a bunch of stuff. All right. Okay. So all I did is I went and updated the title. All right. Turning the desktop back on. Whew. Let me go grab a drink first. I also should remind myself that I should do the log after these breaks. All right. All right, so the next project is oh. Okay. All right, so the next project is yes, I want to add LS color support to one of my projects. So LS color, for those who don't know, is a I guess it's a convention. It's something that I guess it's kind of quite literally colors for your LS command. So it's an invariant variable that basically goes like this, right? And when you run ls, let's go to a more interesting place. When you run ls, you'll notice that the output is colored. It has a bunch of different colors for different things, right? Like this file, for example, shouldn't be there, but it contrasts with the folders, for example, right? So it has a different color. So it turns out you can change those colors to your liking. And the way to do it is to export this invariant variable. And when you do that, the variable is read as a kind of a dictionary between the file type and the ANSI escape sequence that represents the desired color. So ls will actually go ahead and change it for you. So the way you can get your existing colors, I believe, is I believe you can run dirt colors, right? Dirt colors. I guess it doesn't work here because it's a Mac computer. But let's just try it. Let's copy this person's dirt color, right? And let's go and include it in my shell and see what happens. Right? Let's put it here. Let's see. I think I need to say set this to that and then export it. Is that right? Okay. No idea if that works. This may not work because it's a Mac, but that's not a big deal. Not a big deal. How could we do this better? Let's see. All right. Maybe the way to do it. All right. I'm going to end this stream and start a new one from my Linux PC. All right. I'll be right back. Thanks for watching.